All right, so this tutorial is going to show you how to do a two-photo combination. One where you're choosing a background photo, and the second photo that you will lay on top is going to be cut, and the coloring is going to change the saturation and the hue. This time we're going to use a different app. We're going to use PicsArt. So it's the icon with starting with a purple and then transitioning into blue with a white linear P on it. When you open this up, you don't need to create an account. You can just come down to the bottom and choose the plus sign. From here at the top, you should have access to your photos. If not, and it'll ask your permission, you can go ahead and click Allow. For the two photos I'm going to use are these two. So I'm going to choose the tree is going to be my background, and these flowers right here are going to be my foreground. I'm going to go ahead and start with the background. It's important that you start with the background. So I choose my background. The background, you don't actually have to do anything to it. It's just going to stay the same, so that part is finished. Then you're going to come down to the bottom of your screen and you're going to choose Add Photo. Then you're going to select from your pictures the picture that you would like to use. So I'm going to choose my flowers. It shows up down here, and I'm going to come up to the top corner and I'm going to hit Add. All right, from here, I'm going to just grab it in the middle. I'm going to move it up to the corner here of my picture, and now I'm going to take this corner here and make that bigger. Move it down, see where I'm at, make it a little bigger, bring it down. There we go. You want it to be the same size as your background photo. Okay, from here we need to cut out just the flowers, so that way our tree comes through the background. So for that, I'm going to use the cutout option, which is down here at the bottom, not the crop, but the cutout. All right, so with the cutout, we are going to, I'm not sure, I must have grabbed, did I pick the wrong one? Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, I'm not for sure what happened there. I must have maybe accidentally tapped the effects. So you're going to click the cutout with just the scissors, and there's two options down here. There's this kind of dotted line here, which means that you can trace around your item that you want to leave, and it'll cut all the rest out. Or you can choose the head one, which kind of detects it on its own. It does its own selection. So from here, I am going to change my size, my brush down smaller, because I only want it to select a certain amount. And then I'm going to come in. You can also two-finger move and enlarge. Okay, and you can select the area that you would like to use. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up just a little bit larger here. Okay, don't be afraid to change the size based on your needs. So right here, I can't get to the very top without going over my space into the green, which I don't want. So I'm going to make my brush smaller so that way I can get there. I'm going to bring this up larger, and I'm going to continue to fill this in. Okay. Now I'm noticing that when it did the general selection automatically, I'm afraid that it might have chosen some area that I don't want included in my cutout. So I'm going to shrink it back down. It looks like it may have selected this area. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to bring that down a little bit smaller, and I'm going to go ahead and erase this area because I do not want that to be a part of my selection process. Okay, again, I need to make my size smaller to fit down in this corner here. All right, I'm going to continue to make this larger. Cut out that. All right, let's see. Okay, over here it looks like it selected that area, which we do not want. Make that bigger. So you're just adjusting the size. I'm going to continue to go around here and select and deselect the areas that I need to. So throughout that process, you might have seen where I went to move or enlarge or shrink down, and my finger accidentally, I didn't get the 2 fingers, I just got the 1 and it made a mark. I just went in and fixed that as I went. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hit save after I have selected what I want selected, and then bingo, it's cut out what I want and left the background of the tree showing through. So now we get to play around and have some fun with this. So you can go to effects and kind of take a look at those. Really, the only one that would be nice to use are the colors, because if they have a something like that with the gold, that's a paid for thing. We don't want to use that. So that's one option to do. I do not want you to use the pop art colors or the pop art there either, where it does that. Or if you want to do it by hand, cancel that. I would go to adjustments. Okay, you're going to change the saturation, so you can play around with that. Remember, the saturation is where you give it a lot of colors. We're going to pump up that saturation to full blast. Then we're going to go to hue, and we're going to play around with the hue. You can change the colors of your flowers, which is kind of a fun thing to do. I don't want to do green because I'm afraid that's going to get too lost in the mix. I think I'm going to choose kind of that orange color. And then you can go ahead and change the temperature too. I'm going to bump up the temperature to that. You can play around with the contrast. Contrast is going to make it more exaggerated. The darker is dark, the lighter is light. The brightness is going to change as well. And then clarity just kind of makes everything a little bit crisper and sharper. Okay, so once you have that figured out, what you want to do, you use those colors and then you hit apply. All right, now you can adjust if you need to, making this a little bit smaller there, so that way it fits kind of in. Maybe you decide, you know what, I don't like it directly in the middle. I think I'm going to move it over a little bit. I actually like it over here because you can kind of see more of the tree coming through. Once you're done with that, you hit the apply button and then the next, and you're ready to save it. And to save it, you need to go to the more, and then you can go to save image, and it says successfully shared, so you can just double check that by coming back to the photos, and there it is. Then you can follow the process that we've shown before to airdrop your image to where it needs to go. Thanks for watching.